Hello everybody, my name is Mark and I'm thrilled to welcome you to my first ever Pokemon challenge. This idea is inspired by the YouTuber known as Madrybread, whose link you'll find in the description below. I'm an avid Bidoof enthusiast, going so far to even having the charming little beaver tattooed onto my arm. I'll be attempting to conquer Pokémon Black version with a single Bidoof, but there's more to it. This challenge isn't just for completing the game solo, it's a 4-part tetralogy featuring a race to determine the fastest Route 1 rodent Pokemon to finish the game. The contestants will be, of course, Bidoof, Sentret, Zigzagoon, and Rattata. This is the first time I've ever made a script, and I'm reading it right now if you could trace my eyes, and I've never done post-commentary on a video. So please, if you do enjoy, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Also comment down below who you think is going to win this speedrun challenge. Allow me to explain the rules. I'm limited to deploying only one Bidoof in battle, per battle. Battle-related strategies such as death fodder and items are prohibited. Glitches and cheats are strictly off limits. The capturing of Pokemon is solely permitted for non-battle functions, such as HMs, moves, etc. This challenge is undoubtedly feasible, albeit time intensive. To ensure precise timing throughout the Pokemon journey, I'll be using Live Split, a speedrun timer. By combining this with our in-game timer, we'll derive a median that contributes to our leaderboard. With determination and dedication, we'll establish the ultimate Route 1 rodent Pokemon champion. Bidoof's combined base stat total is 250, its highest stat being HP, followed by attack, then both defense and special defense. Bidoof ranks second in base stat totals among all rodent Pokemon from the first 4 generations, right behind Rattata, which has a total of 253. Bidoof's moveset is quite unique. It learns Superpower and Curse in the later levels. When combined with its ability Simple, which doubles stat changes, this creates an interesting dynamic. I anticipate Bidoof's performance well in this race, likely finishing in either first or second place. Zigzagoon poses a significant challenge due to its move Belly Drum, which maximizes its attack by sacrificing half of its HP. However, this option is very situational, but we will cross that road once we get there. Let's get into it. I used a Pokemon randomizer to replace Snivy with the mighty Bidoof. My thought process was to provide Sharon with an Emboar and Bianca with a Samurott, while still having access to fighting type moves in the future, which will add a layer of challenge to this playthrough. The rival battle with Bianca and Sharon were what you would expect. I beat both of them with ease. Post-battle, I went through the process of resetting the game until I managed to obtain a Bidoof with the ability Simple. This strategic choice will pay off in the long term by boosting my overall combat effectiveness. After somewhat harsh scolding from Bianca for not catching an additional Pokemon, we finally encountered the primary antagonist of this narrative, Team Plasma, led by Getsis, their leader. We also encountered N, who somehow communicates with our Pokemon. A battle ensues, though at this point N poses little challenge to us. We emerge victorious with ease. After a bit of training, we engage in another rival battle against Bianca. Our combination with this Simple ability and Defense Curl have proved highly effective, leading us to victory with minimal trouble. Following battles with various trainers and gaining a few levels, it was time to face Sharon. With our strategy focused on Defense Curl, we struggled against his special attacks, leading to our defeat. After several attempts, I managed to overcome Sharon and move to face the gym leader, Chili. Recognizing Chili as a formidable opponent, I chose to grind for a few more levels. To my delight, our Bidoof learned Rollout at level 13, a rock-type move that would give us a significant advantage against the fire-type trainer. The first gym battle became significantly easier. The level gap and moveset of our Bidoof allowed us to swiftly defeat Chili's Pansear. A mere 24 minutes into the challenge, we secured our first gym badge. This decision, my friends, could potentially be a game changer, but unfortunately in the worst way possible. I made a choice to teach an HM move to my main Pokemon, which might turn out to be detrimental. I mistakenly believed that the unlimited uses of TMs extended to HMs as well. I'm not sure how this is going to affect our final time, but we're going to figure it out sooner or later. After rescuing Muna from the Team Plasma Grunts, we headed west towards the second gym leader. I engaged in all the trainers on my path, aiming to better prepare myself for the upcoming challenges. Following battles against several trainers, I encountered Sharon once again, leading to another rival battle. Dispatching Sharon's team swiftly, I assisted a young girl in retrieving her stolen Pokemon from Team Plasma. Following numerous grinding sessions with multiple defeats, I managed to level Bidoof up to level 21, finally gaining the strength to challenge N. He led with Pidoof, providing a perfect opportunity to stack defense curls before launching into Rollout. Pidoof fell within 2 hits, after which I faced Timber, a fighting type. Thanks to my prior defense curl setup, Timber's threat was mitigated. The final challenge was Timpool, but without rollout's momentum, I succumbed to defeat. Round 2 was more successful as I managed to sweep through N's entire team using rollout. Up next was Lenora, a normal type gym leader. She opened with Herdier, the evolved form of Lillipup, which posed some challenges due to its intimidate ability. A takedown from Herdier basically sealed my defeat. It became evident that more grinding was unfortunately needed. Returning at level 25, I stacked defense curls to become nearly invulnerable, barring any critical hits. With a string of rollouts, I managed to eliminate Herdier. Next came Watchog, which I left with minimal HP after a successful rollout, only to be met with a retaliate attack that left me with a single HP. Thankfully, Watchog used a potion, allowing my boosted rollout to finish it off. This victory secured our second gym badge at the 1 hour and 9 minute mark. One level less and I might have not clinched that win. It seemed 25 is my lucky number. Not much transpired between the second and third gyms. We thwarted Team Plasma's attempt to steal a Dragonite head and intervened once again, this time in Castelia City. While there, we obtained a crucial item, the Eviolite. This item would significantly boost the defensive stats of our base Pokemon Bidoof. Moving on to Berg, the third gym leader specializing in bug-type Pokemon, our strategy proved effective. Starting with Whirlipede, I managed to stack 2 defense curls before initiating rollout. No poisoning occurred, allowing me to gain momentum. Dwebble was next. My maxed out rollout made short work of it. Lastly, Levani, the ace, made its appearance. With rollout in Bidoof's arsenal, defeating these bug-type Pokemons became effortless. After a 1 hour and 30 minute mark, we secured our third gym badge. After defeating both Bianca and Sharon, we quickly headed to Nimbasa City, encountering N. I don't know if this part of the game is bugged, but there is no dialogue. We normally learn that N is the true lord of Team Plasma, but with different views than Ghetsis has. After about 8 losses in a row to N, I know I need to retrace my steps and continue grinding. I didn't show every time I blacked out to save time, but the amount is well over double digits, mainly to random Pokemon trainers and N. N has been the biggest problem of this run, ironically. I think that the only time I've lost to gym leaders was about twice. I want to give a heads up that once I do receive the lucky egg after the 5th gem, I will be implementing an XP code as if I'm holding the lucky egg at all times, allowing me to get more XP later in the game while still keeping my Eviolite. Beating 40 wild Pokemon to level up once is not that entertaining to do, and it's really frustrating to grind while doing these challenges. I do not want to get burnt out after the first challenge. After about 30 minutes of grinding on 2 times speed, I finally feel confident to take on N. Leading with Sandile, I have to take the Intimidate and hope he doesn't go for Sand Attack. He goes for Embargo, giving me a free defense curl. He then goes for Assurance that only does 9 damage. I then decided to change my game plan and use Hyper Fang rather than building up rollouts. This works out incredibly, getting me past Sandile without any accuracy lost. Scraggy comes in and I Hyper Fang again, not wanting to build up my rollouts against a fighting type. Thankfully, I'm able to get the flinch off and I'm in the home run without any major loss of my HP. Next, Darumaka, and this is when I start to build out my rollouts. I was able to build 3 rollouts, essentially sealing my victory as my rollout will do massive damage to Sigalith. I take the Psybeam and Oko Hismon, giving me the victory. Once we defeat N, we make a beeline for the 4th gym leader, Alessa, an electric type user. Though her Emolgas are part flying, letting rollout again be the hard carry for our run. She leads with Emolga and I, of course, lead with Bidoof. Given that all of our Pokemon are physical attackers, Defense Curl is going to be a huge setup for us. After seeing the little damage that Volt Switch did, I decided to only use one of our Defense Curl and then started my rollout attack. I'm able to build my rollout off of an Emolga, killing the next with my second. They swap into Emolga again and Volt Switch into a Zebstrika. With the 3rd rollout, we have enough damage output to one-shot the ace, leaving us to only take on the final Emolga. Their attack leaves us with 4 HP and we're able to secure our victory, obtaining the 4th gym badge within 2 hours and 6 minutes of the run. Following my victory against the gym leader, I retraced my steps to acquire the TM for Dig. This move would grant us the ability to be super effective against Steel-type Pokemon, which is important considering that Clay's ace is Extra Drill. I deemed this move necessary for the upcoming battle. After being introduced to the Pokemon champion Alder and assisting in lowering the bridge to Driftville City, we are tasked with capturing a Team Plasma cultist who has bizarrely taken refuge in refrigerators. After that, I arrived at Clay's gym. I encountered what might be the most exasperating gym leader yet. The sheer frequency with which my Pokemon became hurt by confusion astonished me. After 6 unfortunate attempts, a breakthrough finally occurred. The battle began with Krokorok, and its Intimidate ability halved Bidoof's attack. I initiated a defense curl, and as expected, Krokorok used Swagger. Despite confusion, I managed to execute another defense curl. Then a stroke of luck, I snapped out of confusion. Once more, I was hit with Swagger. Now at +3 attack and +4 defense, I opted for Dig, and thankfully I didn't hurt myself in confusion. The move landed, instantly defeating Krokorok. Palpitoad followed, setting up an Awkward Ring. Taking advantage of this, I prepared a move as I accidentally hit myself due to confusion. Palpitoad then used Muddy Water, then I managed to burrow underground. Dig delivered a one-hit KO, and now it's Excadrill's turn. I thought my victory depended on me outspeeding my opponent, but Excadrill outpaced me. But his choice to use Hone Claws allowed me to secure the win. This earned us the 5th gym badge at the 2 hour and 36 minute mark. Immediately following the gym battle, we swiftly dealt with Bianca and proceeded to Chargestone Cave. Here, we finally obtained the Lucky Egg, which would grant us double experience points for the remainder of the run. Our journey brought us to Mistralian City, a location that is not only housed by one of the best gym leaders in Pokemon, Skyla, but also provided the opportunity to finally forget the move Cut. While I would need to locate some hard skills to relearn moves later on, I decided to teach Bidoof the move Return for now. This decision was influenced by my high happiness level and the added benefit of being a normal stab type move. Upon reaching the tower, I met Skyla and had the privilege of ringing her bell. After the bell's chime, she granted me the chance to challenge her at her gym. As a flying type gym leader, Skyla was naturally susceptible to our trusty move rollout. While my approach impressed Skyla, I knew it was time to wrap up our interaction. I initiated a few defense curls and then proceeded to roll my way to victory. Although the battle took a bit due to her use of potions, I managed to one-shot her Unfezant and Swanna. This triumph earned me the 6th gym badge, just 30 minutes after the 5th gym, at approximately 3 hours and 11 minutes. Up next is my battle with Sharon. Luck seemed to be on my side yet again, employing a strategy of setting up defense curls and executing rollouts. I faced off against Liepard. This opponent had the potential to end Bidoof's run, but a poorly timed use of Torment actually worked in my favor. My return move swiftly dispatched Liepard, allowing me to progress to Icarus City, the home of the Ice-type gym leader. Upon my arrival, I wasted no time and headed straight for the gym leader, eager to challenge my personal favorite gym in the game. With a joyful flourish, I spun, twirled, and slid my way through the gym and finally met the 7th gym leader, Bryson. Bryson initiated with Vanillish, and in a not-so-surprising move, I opted for Defense Curl. After just one, I transitioned to Rollout, essentially sealing my victory yet again. With the ice cream cone out of the way, I quickly dispatched Beartic and Cragnole, both falling to a single strike, obtaining the second to last gym badge at the 3 hour and 24 minute mark, just 13 minutes after obtaining the one prior. While progressing the story and entering the tower, I encountered a potentially run-ending flaw. I have no Pokemon with the move Strength. While I can teach Bidoof Strength and forget it later, I don't have Strength in my inventory. Looking up where it was, I noticed it was in Embasa City, where the 4th gym leader is located, so I decided to fly there and wait, I don't have a Pokemon that can fly either. What? I had to run back as fast as I can, looking for any flying type Pokemon I could find, but I had no luck at all. This lesson learned will help with the other 3 contenders in the following runs. Hopefully, it won't affect Bidoof's time that much. While passing through Driftwheel City, I managed to pick up a Heart Scale and continued to Nimbasa City. Once there, I grabbed Strength and head east for an Emolga. I finally find a Pokemon that could learn Fly, a Tranquil, flying back to the tower to continue our journey. This detour took me about 18 minutes to complete, a complete blow for our total time. Once I reach the top of the tower, N shows his BBP and flies off to Neverland. Our new objective is to head over to Route 4 to hunt down the Lightstone to resurrect Reshiram, the cover legendary for this game. No important battles happen here, so I'll give you a quick rundown. We go through these ruins, fight multiple Team Plasma Grunts, to find out the Lightstone isn't even here. We then head back to Nakreen City where, ta-da! We receive the Lightstone. We need to take it to Drayden, the final gym leader, to see some more information on this stone and how to get Reshiram on our team. At the gate of the city where the 8th gym is, we have our final battle with our rival Bianca. She leads with Stoutland and I immediately go for defense curls. I'm able to max out our defense, and this woman roars me out. Knowing I can't use these Pokemon in battle, I attack in hopes that Stoutland kills them, and I was thankfully correct in this plan. Retaliate kills Tranquil and Crunch kills Golett. I go into Bidoof and again max out my defense for a second time. I roll out the Stoutland, but he lives enough to take my Bidoof down to 1/4 HP. I thankfully one-shot the Samurott. The Semisear comes out, outspeeds, and takes me down to just 29 HP. Masharna then comes out, and I'm not able to one-shot her, but thankfully she goes for Lucky Chant, giving me yet another close victory. I finally get to the 8th gym and he basically tells me to reunite my lightstone with Zekrom, which will resurrect Reshiram. I go back to the move Rememberer and swap out Defense Curl for Curse, giving me the defense and attack boost, though it only has 10 power points. After I push through the gym, I take on the final gym leader. While grinding through the gym, I'm only left with 3 power points on my Curse. My plan was to max out my attack and defense and go for an easy sweep. I'm able to get all 3 off, then I get Dragon-tailed, a pro play for my opponent. I sack off my other 2 Mons, then I go back into Bidoof with no stat boosting moves. I felt like I had no chance of passing through on my first try, but thankfully this man is more greedy than me and goes for another D-dance. I use return, leaving him on a sliver of HP, causing a potion cycle. After another potion, I high roll and take out his +3 fracture, taking minimal damage. Up next is Dredagon. Though I don't kill with only 1 return, his Night Slash does minimal damage to me and I'm able to move on to his ace, Haxorus. With only 81 HP, I thought I was done for. My return does over half his damage and thankfully this man goes for his weakest move, Dragon Tail, letting me land another return for the win, giving me the 8th and final gym badge at the 4 hour and 13 minute mark, almost an entire hour after getting my 7th badge. As I push forward to the Elite Four, I encounter our final rival battle against Sharon. He leads with Unfezant and goes for Razorwind. I start setting up my curses, and after 2 curses, I go for a return rather than a rollout for the guaranteed hit. Next comes Anbor and I use Dig. My Dig lands, and thankfully I'm able to take out the Ember with a single strike. Sharon throws out Semi-Sage, and I again one-shot with another return. Liepard comes out, and thankfully their Night Slash does not crit me, and I'm able to end the battle with another return, hitting level 67. After my battle with Sharon, I eventually make my way to the Elite Four, and when I say I was in for a long ride, I mean a long, long ride. I'll skip the detour for you, but when I enter the Elite Four at 4 hours and 18 minutes, I had to grind to level 100 for a chance to defeat the Elite Four. I'm now at 6 hours and 16 minutes into the run, a whole 2 hours of grinding, and I'm finally ready to take the Elite Four seriously. I start with the Fighting type Master Marshall. Marshall leads with Throw and I immediately go for Work Up. I relearned Work Up to negate me from losing speed with Curse, as at this point in the game, if I don't outspeed, I lose. Throw unfortunately lands a Bulldoze, which lowers my speed, and I go for an attack to hopefully negate Throw from using Storm Throw, an attack that always crits. Conkeldurr is second, and I finally win the speed tie, being able to one-shot the Pillar Builder. Mianchu is next and lands a Jump Kick. I use Return yet again and am able to one-shot the Pokemon. Last but not least, Sock, a Pokemon with the ability Sturdy, who has been the wall I haven't been able to get through till now. I choose to go for Dig, activating his Sturdy. When I seen his attack not do half of my HP, I was ecstatic, knowing that barring any crits, I have basically secured my victory. After a few potions, Sock leaves me with 27 HP from his Karate Chop, and I go for a Dig. Once Dig lands, I defeated Marshall. Up next is the Psychic type Master Caitlyn. Leading with Reuniclus, I choose Amnesia, boosting my special attack, preparing for the Focus Blast. After that, I literally end her entire team, spamming returns. I am now down 2 Elite Four members, just needing 2 more to advance. We are now on to the Dark type Master Grimsley. Leading with Scrafty, I start off with a Work Up, and Scrafty immediately goes for a Sand attack, harshly lowering our accuracy. I land a return and one-shot the Scrafty. Up next is Crocodile and I get intimidated. Then I miss my return and get hit by an Earthquake. I land a return and able to one-shot the enemy. Up next is Bisharp and I go for a Dig. I don't miss and I'm able to one-shot him, leaving just Liepard to take care of. I miss my first return, but the next turn I'm able to one-shot the Liepard. Last but not least is the Ghost-type Master Chantal. Leading with the most annoying Pokemon in the world, I just hope for them to miss their Will-O-Wisp. To my surprise, they go for a Psychic. Surely this can't happen again. And it did! I am now +4 attack and go for Dig. They can then try and burn me, but it's too late. I land Dig and I'm able to one-shot this annoying hunk of junk. Up next is Golurk, and because I can't hit Ghost-type Pokemon with normal attacks, I again go for Dig. Since I have boosted attack, my Dig, of course, one-shots the Behemoth. Chandelure is weak to ground, so there's no surprise here that we're able to one-shot them with Dig as well. I do get burnt from Flame Body, but with the attack boosts that I have, this isn't going to cause much problem this late into the battle. I use Dig and one-shot the Jellicent. As I lower into the inner chamber to face the end of the game, I remember that I have, other than Cynthia, probably the 2 most powerful trainers in all of Pokemon. I'm 6 hours and 30 minutes into the game, and I feel like these final 2 battles are going to add quite a bit more time onto our timer. After watching an incredible cutscene for its time, it's time to challenge Lord N in our second to last battle of the Pokemon run. N leads with Zekrom and I lead with Reshiram? I switch out to make the run more legit and get hit with a huge fusion bolt. Zekrom uses light screen and I decide to add some special defense to our Bidoof. I use Dig and I'm able to one-shot the Zekrom. Up next is Klinklang, who outspeeds me. My Dig lands and it's actually Zoroark, who is using their ability Illusion. Up next is the actual Klinklang, and I'm able to outspeed using Dig. Next turn, I'm able to land a Dig and one-shot the Mom. After this is Vanillix, and unfortunately, he uses Hail, sealing my loss. If I didn't have to swap out of Reshiram at the beginning of the battle, I'm sure I would have gone through this with great ease. Archops is able to outspeed my Bidoof, and since I only had 5 HP, I whited out. If only they missed their attack, that would have been awesome. After depositing Reshiram, I re-challenged N, and he again leads with Zekrom. I get hit with the Fusion Bolt, and I go for a workup. I then go for a Dig, and I'm able to one-shot the Zekrom. Up next is Zoroark, sent out as Klinklang. Landing a Focus Blast, my HP is brought down to yellow, and I thankfully one-shot him. I use Dig on Klinklang, making easy work. When he sends out Vanillix, I should have went for a return, but I opt in for a Dig, which lets him get off another free Hail. My Dig one-shots and I'm able to face Caracosta with 85 HP still remaining. I use Dig and thankfully he takes some Hail damage, removing his sturdy ability. I guess allowing Hail to be set up worked in my favor. Last but not least is Archops. Archeops goes for Acrobatics rather than Stone Edge, leaving me with 10 HP. I land my return, one-shotting him, giving me the win. Once I beat N, Getsis barges in and we begin the Battle of the Titans, one of the strongest Pokemon trainers in all of Pokemon versus a Bidoof. Getsis sends out his Cofagrigus and leads with a Protect. Turn 2, he chooses Toxic. I'm sure you all know what happens from here. The Toxic stall is real, and I can't even get past the first Pokemon, at level 100. About an hour passes and I finally strike gold. I use Dig, hoping to kill the Cofagrigus before getting poisoned. Dig does over half of his HP and he finally misses Toxic. And in over an hour of redoing this battle, this is the first time this has ever happened. I use Dig again and I'm able to take him out the next turn. Up next is Hydreigon, and almost one-shots me with a Focus Blast. I use Return and able to bring him down into the red. Knowing he's going to heal, I decided to go for a workup. Luck continues to stay on my side as he misses a Focus Blast and I'm able to one-shot the Hydreigon. Getsis then throws out Bouffalant, and again I one-shot with Return. My friendship is too high with my Bidoof and the power of friendship overcomes all obstacles. Unless of course the Steel type appears on my screen. I use Dig and of course one-shot the Bisharp. Last but not least is Electros, and of course my Return destroys him. Finally securing victory, finishing the final battle at the 6 hours and 57 minute mark. After defeating Getsis, we have finally beaten the game. We speak with Alder, Sharon, Getsis, and N for a bit, and after some more dialogue we finally hit the end credits. At an official 6 hours, 58 minutes, and 17.08 seconds. So 6 hours, 58 minutes, and 17.08 seconds is officially the time to beat. Do I think Zigzagoon, Sentret, or Rattata can beat this game in time? Honestly, I don't think so. I have doubts that they can even beat the game. I don't know what I would do if I'm at 12 hours in and I'm still fighting the Elite Four with Sentret. We'll see what happens when we get there. So about 7 hours to defeat the game on Live Split. Here is the in-game timer as well as the median. Since I am doing double speed and sometimes, I'm AFK and the game's running, we're probably going to use the live split counter to get an accurate reading, but just for the other numbers, I'm going to provide them on the screen here for you. This is my first ever challenge video, and as you can see, it took about 7 hours to record. Multiple hours of writing and reading the script, and then of course it takes a lot of time to edit it all together to upload. If you did enjoy, please just do one thing, leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on how I can improve my commentary, maybe some stuff I could add or remove to make the video more entertaining. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I really hope you did enjoy it. If you are interested in Pokemon cards, I do pack openings as well, so please feel free to check those out. Other than that, I'll continue my work with Sentret for the next run. I hope it goes well, but I'm kind of hesitant. Regardless, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.